Jayam Vishnupad Paramamsa Paravajakacharya Sutar Shishiman. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrindi Ki Jai. Namachaya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sako Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrindi Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Syamakun Radhakun Girivardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Sri Jamunamai Gangamai Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaur Premananda Haribol. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory the assembled devotees. Jai Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, Text 27 and 28. Parikshit cursed by a Brahmin boy. We'll read call response 27. Viprakirna Jatachanam Rauravena Jinena Visusyat Talur Udakam Tata Bhutam Ayachata Viprakirna Jatachanam Rauravena Jinena Cha Vishushyatalur Udakam Tata Bhutam Ayachata Viprakirna Jatachanam Rauravena Jinena Cha Visusyatalur Udakam Tata Bhutam Ayachata Viprakirna Jatachanam Rauravena Jinena Cha Visusyatalur Udakam Tata Bhutam Ayachata. Viprakirna Jatachanam Rauravena Jinena Cha Visusyatalur Udakam Tata Bhutam Ayachata Viprakirna Jatachanam Rauravena Jinena Cha Visusyatalur Udakam Tata Bhutam Ayachata Viprakirna Jatachanam Rauravena Jinena Cha Visusyatalur Udakam Tata Bhutam Ayachata Viprakirna Jatachanam Rauravena Jinena Cha Visusyatalur Udakam Tata Bhutam Ayachata Ayachatam Rauravena Jinena Cha Visusyatalur Udakam Tata Bhutam Ayat Mataji's. Viprakena Jatachanam Roravanena Jaina Cha Visatutakam Tata Bhutam Ayachata Viprakena Jatachanam Roravine Janina Cha Vishushyatalu Uchanam Abhutam Yakam Vipakena Chatachanam Roravine Janina Cha Vishushyatalu Udakam Tadabhutam Ayachata Vipakirna, all scattered. Jata Achanam, covered with compressed long hair. Roravena, by the skin of a stag. Ajinena, by the skin. Cha, also. Vishushya, dried up. Talu, palate. Udakam, water. Tatabutam, in that state. Ayachala, ayachata, asked for. Translation. The sage in meditation was covered by the skin of a stag, and long compressed hair was scattered all over him. The king, whose palate was dry from thirst, asked him for water. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The king, being thirsty, asked the sage for water. That such a great devotee and king asked for water from a sage absorbed in trance was certainly providential. Otherwise, there was no chance of such a unique happening. Maharaj Parikshit was thus placed in an awkward position so that gradually Srimad Bhagavatam could be revealed. Text 28. Alabda Trinabhumyadir Asam Praptargya Sunirta Avagyatam Ivatmanam Manyamanas Chakopagha. The king, not received by any formal welcome by means of being offered a seat, place, water, and sweet addresses, considered himself neglected, and so thinking, he became angry. Purport. The law of reception in the codes of the Vedic principles states that even if an enemy is received at home, he must be received with all respects. He should not be given a chance to understand that he has come into the house of an enemy. When Lord Krishna, accompanied by Arjuna and Bhima, approached Jarasandha in Magadha, the respectful enemies were given a royal reception by King Jarasandha. The guest enemy, namely Bhima, was to fight with Jarasandha, and yet they were given a grand reception. At night they used to sit down together as friends and guests, and in the day they used to fight, risking life and death. That was the law of reception. The reception law enjoins that a poor man who has nothing to offer his guests should be good enough to offer a straw mat for sitting, a glass of water for drinking, and some sweet words. Therefore, to receive a guest, either friend or foe, there is no expense. It is only a question of good matters. When Maharaj Parikshit entered the door of Samika Rishi, he did not expect the royal reception by the Rishi, because he knew that saints and rishis are not material rich men. But he never expected that a seat of straw, a glass of water, and sweet words would be denied to him. He was not an ordinary guest, nor was he an enemy of the rishi, and therefore the cold reception by the rishi astonished the king greatly. As a matter of fact, the king was right to get angry with the rishi when he needed a glass of water very badly. To become angry in such a grave situation was not unnatural for the king, but because the king himself was not less than a great saint, his becoming angry and taking action were astonishing. So it must be accepted that he was ordained by the supreme will of the Lord. The king was a great devotee of the Lord, and the saint was also as good as the king. But by the will of the Lord, the circumstances were so created that they became ways to becoming unattached to family connection and governmental activities, and thus becoming a completely surrendered soul unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. The merciful Lord sometimes creates such awkward positions for his pure devotees in order to drag them towards himself from the mire of material existence. But outwardly, the situations appear to be frustrating to the devotees. The devotees of the Lord are always under the protection of the Lord, and in any condition, frustration or success, the Lord is the supreme guide for the devotees. The pure devotees therefore accept all conditions of frustration as blessings from the Lord. Vipakirna jatachanam roravena jinena cha vishusyat talu udakam tata bhutam ayachata. The sage in meditation was covered by the skin of a stag, and long compressed air was scattered all over him. The king, whose palate was dry from thirst, asked him for water. Alabda trinabhumi ardir asamprapargya sunita avigyatam ivatmanam manyamanas chukopaha. The king, not received by any formal welcome by means of being offered a seat, place, water, and sweet addresses, considered himself neglected, and so thinking, he became angry. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. So here, the pastime that's preempting the speaking of Srimad Bhagavatam to Maharaj Parikshit is given. First, he had to be cursed by the Brahmin boy. What was his name? Shringi, the son of this sage. The sage was in trance, but the king was considering that at least in Vedic culture you should be offered, Bhagavatam states, a sitting place, a glass of water, and sweet words. This is even for an enemy, Srila Prabhupada says. Even the pastime is given that when the Pandavas were fighting in the battle of Kurukshetra, at night there would be sweet words and camaraderie, and the daytime terrible fighting. The same with Jarasandha. Fighting with Bhima, terrible for so many days. But in the nighttime they would sit together, offer a nice seating place, sweet words, and at least some water. King was parched from being on the journey, so he needed water. So he considered it an offense. Of course, the sage was in trance. He was in his ecstasy, and he didn't even notice the king. Actually, there was no offense on the part of the sage even. But we'll hear later, Shringi the Brahmin boy, he came there and he saw what an offense, the garland of snakes, that this king had made upon his great saintly father. And therefore, being a Brahmin, he cursed the king to die by the bite of a snake bird within so many days. 7 days, 8 days, 7 days. So this is the power, Brahminical power. Sometimes Brahmins are cursing, but the sage, the great king, Rajarishi, Maharsh Parikshit, he accepted this curse as a blessing, as it was, because there'd be no chance for us to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam had it not been for that curse. So this is the mood of the Vaishnav, the Rajarishi, the great saint, saintly king. Tasyaiva heto prayate to kovido, na labhyate yad brahmatam uparyada. He accepts reversals or anything that is derogatory in life as his due reward, that it's only a token. I should have given much harsher punishment, but I'm getting this token punishment. And one who thinks like this verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam states, Mukta pare sadhyabhak. The last line, dayabhak. The phrase dayabhak means the inheritance that is due, that comes to the son. The son automatically gets, or the daughter gets, the inheritance. My children, I gave them whatever I had already, which wasn't much. That's also Lord's mercy. There's no inheritance when I leave, is already given. So, dayabhak, the inheritance is given. In this verse, that means that one who tolerates reversals and all difficulties, he inherits the Lord's mercy. He returns home back to Godhead. He inherits Vaikuntha. That means one has to tolerate any difficulty that is coming from any other living entity, or the modes of nature, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These are all blessings in disguise. And sometimes we don't know. Therefore, Bhagavatam also states, Yasyaham anugranami harisye taddanam shanai. That the Lord's first installation of mercy is He takes everything away. Srila Prabhupada gave example of his own life. That the business, he was big pharmacist, but business was not going so well. And children were not doing good, and wife was saying, drinking the tea, Srila Prabhupada, as a householder, was saying, tea or me? And she said, I'll take tea. So, yasyaham anugranami harisye taddanam shanai. Lord Krishna's mercy for the devotee, He doesn't give everything. The Pandavas, everything was taken away. Their kingdom was taken away. Their wealth was taken away. Not even a piece of land that you could put in the pin of a needle were they given. They lost everything. Yasyaham anugaranami harisye tadanam shanai. But tatenu kampam susamikshamana. The devotee accepts that things are taken away as Lord's special mercy. This is my karma. I should be given much more serious, but I'm getting some token punishment, and he tolerates, and that is the ticket to the doors of Vaikuntha. There's a story. We heard a story the other day from the Mataji, beautiful story from BTG about so many things happening in man's life. That reminded me of another story in Vedic literature. There was a great king at one time, and because he was a Kshatriya, he was going out on hunting expedition. So he took with him his team, including the court jester. Court jester used to always say, Ram's grace, Ram's grace, Ram's mercy, Ram's mercy, Ram's mercy. Everything would happen. Always Ram's mercy, Ram's mercy. So the king on the expedition, there was a snake on the path. You know the story? And the snake came to bite the horse. The horse threw the king. Just so happened to be the king's horse. And the snake bit the king on the finger. I'm not sure which one, but one of the fingers. Sometimes that happens. And the only thing they could do to save the king's life, because the snake is deadly, his bite is deadly, if it goes into the blood, oh, it's deadly. They have a name for that. It's called sepsis. When an infection goes sepsis, then is very dangerous. They have to amputate. So they cut off, right there and then, they cut off the finger of the king. But when the king fell off the horse and was bitten by the snake, his gesture, Ram's mercy, Ram's mercy, Ram's mercy. They cut off the finger of the king, Ram's mercy, Ram's mercy, Ram's mercy. So the king was so disturbed. He said, you arrest this man, so-called jester, and take him back to my prison. Lock him up for however long. Take him back there. Get him out of here. And as he's being taken, Ram's mercy, Ram's mercy, Ram's mercy. So, after they cut off the finger of the king, he was a tough guy. He kept on his expedition. But they were cornered by dacoits, the story goes. And these dacoits were not just ordinary dacoits, they were followers of Kali Ma. And in those days, those who served Kali Ma used to offer human sacrifice to the goddess. But that human sacrifice had to be so perfect. So they caught the king and they got him all dressed up and they were getting ready to offer him to Kali as a sacrifice. And they realized he's only got 9 digits. He's imperfect. So they let him go. He immediately went back to his kingdom. He realized that was Ram's mercy. He let the jester out of the jail, and the jester said, Ram's mercy, Ram's mercy. And he said, okay. I understand. I got bit by the snake. It's Ram's mercy. The finger getting cut off, that's Ram's mercy. The being pardoned by the Servites of Kali is Ram's mercy. But you being locked up in jail, how is that Ram's mercy? And he looked at the king and said, because I have 10 digits. So the moral of the story is that everything is Ram's mercy. We don't understand. I had personal experience that I was on anti-immune, anti-rejection medication, which destroys your immune system. Doctors had put me on. So anytime you get sick, the flower garland or devotee sneezing or pollen in the air, anything, you get infected, pneumonia, you can get very sick. Now this Maharaj, Jaipataka Maharaj, is on this anti-immune, anti-rejection medication which destroys the immune system completely. You have no immune system. So I got some infection in my left foot, and I wasn't thinking Ram's mercy, because it was a little bit painful. And after a while, it became sepsis. It went through the blood and started injuring different organs. And became very dangerous. Devotees kindly came to see me, and I was wearing a mask. I had to breathe with a mask. They were getting ready to put in the tube. I was not thinking Ram's mercy, Krishna's mercy. I was thinking, puffed up, I serve Krishna day and night. What did I do to deserve this? This is not the attitude. Attitude is it's Krishna's mercy. You don't know why this is happening. As a result, by Krishna's grace, Krishna's mercy, Ram's mercy, after they cut off some piece of the meat, the cuerpo, which is not us, it's just this body, and they put me on some process where they take all your blood and filter the blood and put it back in you, and very difficult for months. I wasn't thinking Ram's mercy. Puffed up, I was thinking, I'm a good devotee. Why is this happening to me? Krishna, what are you doing, Krishna? If you want to, just kill me if you want to kill me. But this torture, devotees so kindly, they came to see me, so many devotees. But I was still thinking, why is this all happening? After a few months, the doctors even said, you know, your scores are very good, and you don't need to do this process, dialysis, anymore. And you're not even taking this anti-rejection medication. They said somehow or other, because your kidneys rested, your organs were resting for so many months, they didn't say God's grace, but I realized by Krishna's grace, things started to work again. Things were functioning, And I was in, by Krishna's grace, by Ram's grace, a better condition, much better condition than even before getting the infection, getting bit by the snake, or getting bit by a snake bird, whatever caused that infection, I don't know. So sometimes we can't see the forest through the trees, that actually something may be happening that's going to give us a great benediction. Krishna's arranging things to happen. Even leaving this body, because Krishna wants to take you to another place to spread the Sankirtan mission, a better place. Or for the devotee, Narayana parak sarve nakutasjana bibyati swarga pavarga narakeshu api tuyarta darshina. For the devotee, he's Narayana, she's Narayana para, can go to hell for engaging in devotional service, can go to the hellish planets for spreading the Krishna consciousness movement. We're not worried. We know Krishna will take care of us. We'll be chanting. There'll be prasadam. Don't worry. Apurva will be there, maybe not in hell, but someone will be there. Prasadam will be there. Service to Krishna will be there. So Narayana Para, devotee doesn't mind. Srila Prabhupada came to hell. New York City, 1965. Hell. North America, from Vrindavan. Living in Vaikuntha, in Vrindavan. A Vaikuntha personality. And he came to hell to spread Krishna consciousness. Even sometimes I think the stories that in the early days in New York, there were some crazy persons that were coming. 53 years later, there are still crazy persons coming. They were, I think, screaming. I forget the exact pastime. And Prabhupada said to the devotees, this is hellish planet. This is hellish place. We've gone, Prabhupada had to come to hell to preach Krishna consciousness. To deliver the Westerners, he had to come to hell. It's not like we were great saintly people that were just waiting for a sage to come. These were, one devotee told Srila Prabhupada, he said, you know, Prabhupada, I'm really a fallen person. I was a drug dealer. He was a big drug dealer. He was dealing all kinds of cocaine, whatever. And Srila Prabhupada said, oh, I was also a drug dealer. Prabhupada was a pharmacist dealing authorized drugs. But whether he took it that way or was trying to assure the devotee is okay, I also was dealing drugs. But Srila Prabhupada came to hell and somehow gave persons the opportunity, even tatenu kampam susamikshamana, even for the devotee undergoing so much difficulty. For Srila Prabhupada, even the snow in New York was great difficulty. Srila Prabhupada looked at the fence and saw outside the window, it was all white. He thought someone had whitewashed the fence because in his life he never saw snow. In his part of India, he never saw snow before. He had to come here to experience the winter. What was it? Late September, mid-September, October, New York City. Not pleasant. Hellish for everyone, even the New Yorkers. Not that California is any better. Anyone listening in New York, we're not trying to praise California. This is also hell, guaranteed. But Srila Prabhupada didn't, oh Krishna, why are you putting me in such a terrible... He accepted it as Krishna's grace because he had to preach Krishna consciousness on the order of his spiritual master. So we have our duty in Krishna consciousness. We may be put in situations that are difficult and painful oftentimes. Especially the older devotees, they're all going through so many difficulties. This one getting his hernia, this one getting the slip disc, another one getting this and that, a foot problem, so many difficulties, MS, because this body is temporary. It's like an old car. The old car is going to have problems. Hopefully the new car doesn't have that many problems. But when the car is a 20-year-old Chevy Impala, 25-year-old with 100,000 miles, you got problems. Guaranteed. So these are over 100,000. Prabhupada, 200,000 miles on that car. Isn't it? Plus, Amla Bhakta Swami, 400,000 miles. I don't know how it's still running. That's an old car. You have to replace this. You have to take care of that. Sometimes there's this. That is happening. They're not remembering this. But that's Ram's mercy, Krishna's mercy, because we're getting preparation for the real mercy, for the next stage in life, whether it's to preach in another place or to go back to the Vaikuntha planet, or even in this life, being put in a difficult situation, the devotee tolerates Tatikshava Karunika, because something beautiful is going to happen soon. That's the mood of the Vaishnava. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga.